A very good evening. I'm Aditi Lamba with the Monday night edition of South Asia News, Vision of Asia. We are coming to you from our studio in New Jersey. Welcome to the show. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Let's begin the episode taking a look at the coronavirus pandemic and its impact. The world has surpassed 247 million cases of COVID-19, with now more than 5 million deaths. Many experts are saying that this 5 million death toll is still an undercount. Here in the United States, we are at nearly 46 million cases of COVID-19 and 746,000 deaths. The nation continues to experience nearly 1,400 daily deaths. So again, if you have not gotten your COVID-19 vaccine, please do visit vaccines.gov for more information. On the booster dose, nation's leading health expert Dr. Anthony Fauci has said that everyone would be able to get it within a reasonable amount of time. So if you are eligible right now, make sure to get that third dose. In politics, today the U.S. Supreme Court appeared to lean toward allowing a challenge by abortion providers to a Texas law that imposes a near total ban on the procedure and lets private citizens enforce it. The 6-3 conservative majority court heard 3 hours of oral arguments. This Texas law is in stark contrast to Roe v. Wade, 1973 landmark decision that legalized abortion, which can occur around 24 months of pregnancy. With this, let's now take a look at the headlines coming in tonight, covering much on politics and South Asian culture heritage. Here are the headlines. Governor Murphy hosts rally with Senator Bernie Sanders, Rutgers University, New Jersey. U.S. vaccines for children planned fully operational next week, Dr. Archana Kulkarni, New Jersey. Get to know Gandhian Society, Edison, New Jersey. It's time for a short break on Vision of Asia South Asian News segment. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm Aditi Lama and this is Vision of Asia, Monday night episode of South Asian News. Tomorrow on Tuesday, November 2nd, are elections across the country for some major seats in states such as New York and New Jersey. The race for governor in New Jersey has pitted incumbent Democratic Governor Phil Murphy against Republican challenger Jack Ciattarelli in a contest with national implications. Recently, at Rutgers University in New Brunswick, Governor Phil Murphy and progressive leader Senator Bernie Sanders hosted a live rally to get out the vote for Governor Murphy's re-election. At the event, both Governor Murphy and Senator Sanders interacted with young voters of New Jersey and college-age students to make sure they vote. Governor Murphy has now been known to have passed some of the most progressive legislative policies in the nation, and at this rally, he spoke on his achievements such as raising minimum wage to $15, making college and healthcare more affordable, and protecting and funding reproductive rights of women with access to abortion. Senator Sanders praised Governor Murphy for all these achievements and asked all his college student supporters to vote for Governor Phil Murphy's re-election. Here is the story.
I take pride in belonging to a state where our governor has signed legislation adopting an LGBTQ inclusive curriculum in our schools. As a New Jerseyan, I am so proud to support Governor Murphy's re-election campaign, and I sincerely hope that my fellow Scarlet Knights will join me in ensuring that it will be Phil Murphy in the office of our governor for the next 4 years. Thank you, everyone, and remember, not me, us.
Not only to vote to re-elect the governor, I'm asking you to bring out 2 or 3 of your friends. Let us win this election. Let us win it in landslide proportions. And let us tell right-wing Republicans that their day is over in New Jersey. Thank you.
This campaign is powered by people like all of you in this room. This is a battle that will be won in the streets, at the doors, on the phones. I need you to raise one hand for yourself, and I need you to raise one hand for someone you don't know. This election is about fighting for the people you do not know. Don't be complacent. Take action. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's tie up our laces. Let's get to work these next 5 days. Now, please help me welcome Rebecca Given of the AFT AAUP.
We're proud to endorse our friend and our ally, Phil Murphy. Your professors are proud to endorse the most progressive governor in the nation. The governor has stood by our side throughout our fight for pay equity here at Rutgers. He understands that we need a stronger, fairer Rutgers for the common good of all New Jerseyans. Attacks on democracy and on voting access are deeply linked with attacks on public education. Under the governor's leadership, we have pushed back against the national trend. In our state, we are increasing access to voting, while other states make it harder to vote. And we have increased funding for higher education, while other states tear it down.
And honestly, both are constantly maligned and mistreated by their own peers simply because they give a damn about people like you and me. So they say public service is its own reward, but I think instead today we should reward these two men with our trust, with our support, with our applause, and come by Tuesday, your vote, and let the world know that we do not want the weak-kneed, we do not want the morally compromised, we demand leaders who will be as fearless in our defense as we deserve.
Healthcare is more affordable. Women's health is funded and protected. We have the strongest environmental policies of any state in the United States of America. We have the strongest gun safety laws of any state in the United States of America. And we're finally, and by the way, we have legalized weed. I wasn't sure if that was going to get a reaction. And now finally we're getting on the list that we want to be on. Number one state in America to raise a family. Number one state in America to live in. And it feels so good to say that at number one Rutgers. Folks, we have come a long way, but our work is not done. We have to keep moving forward. We cannot go backward. The last thing we need right now is an extreme leader. You know what they say in the nuclear power business? The chances of an accident are very small, but if you have one, the hole is very, very deep. And I'm running against somebody, I don't know what the chances are, but if God forbid he wins over us, the hole is very, very deep. This guy spoke at a Stop the Steal rally with Confederate flags and white supremacists. He voted against raising the minimum wage. He voted against legalizing weed. He wants to loosen gun laws. He waffles about whether or not he'll even protect women's health. He puts his finger in the air and sees which way the political winds are blowing before he utters anything about vaccinations or masking. So folks, you get it, right? There's too much at stake, especially for your generation. This is all about you. This is all about you and your future and your families and everybody in this state, especially as we celebrate our incredible diversity, the most diverse state in the United States of America. So, folks, I need you. You have got to vote, either by mail or early in-person voting for the next 3 days, or if not, on Tuesday, November 2nd. I need you. Stronger, fairer, forward. Stronger, fairer, forward. Stronger, fairer, forward. Stronger, fairer, forward. I need one more thing from you. Is that okay? I need 4 more years. 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 Okay.
And what we are saying is that in America, we are going to take on the greed of the pharmaceutical industry. We're going to end the disgrace of Americans paying by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. We are going to make pre-K for 3- and 4-year-olds universal and free. How's that, Governor? We are going to end the absurdity of working class people paying 20 or 25% of their income for child care. No family in America should pay more than 7%. We are going to build millions of units of affordable housing. We're going to make sure that the elderly and the disabled who want to stay in their own homes rather than go to nursing homes be able to do so, and the people who care for them earn a living wage. We're going to expand Medicare to provide dental care, hearing aids, and eyeglasses. Because no senior in New Jersey or Vermont should have rotten teeth in their mouths. And we are going to begin the process of leading the world in transforming our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainability. Now, when we do all of that, we do 2 things. Number one, we improve very significantly the lives of working class people, of lower income people, of the elderly, the children, the sick, and the poor. And that is enormously important. But we do something else that is even more important. And that is to begin to restore the faith of the American people that their government can work for them and not just the wealthy and the powerful.
In New Jersey, the Gandhian Society exists to promote Mahatma Gandhi, India's father of nations, way of life in the United States. The society spreads the Gandhian messages of non-violence, truth, self-discipline, love, among all. The Gandhi way of living and his words are relevant even today and functions as lessons to lead a life of enlightenment and empowerment. The society also informs, educates, and engages the future generations of the South Asian community so that they have a glimpse into Gandhian philosophy and principles. We have tonight exclusive get-to-know segment with key members of the Gandhian Society. They were joined by ITV Gold's chairman, Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh. Here is the segment.
Very much impressed by the Gandhian Society and particularly Mr. Butala. And he is the one like a, he wants to be, not wants to be, but he's one like a, for me, he's one like a Gandhi himself. And also I'm very proud of them. And that way, our family decided to donate 1 ambulance for particularly, serving in our area.
I would like to congratulate and thanks Mr. Butala, Magan Bhai, Varsha Ben, Asmukh Bhai, and Bihari Bhai for bringing the Gandhiji and Ganesh here in our office. It's really a good luck for us, and we really appreciate your gesture, and always would like to support and will support in future Gandhian Society as we did in the past. And you can always count on our TV as well as our newspapers, and personally with me. On me. So just we are part of your family, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Dr. Parikh Saab. We are really very happy with your blessing. Our last goal is museum. We want to make a big museum. We already get blessing from Birla ji, and now is in our hands. So please, Dr. Parikh, be active to open our museum. It is like it is like a millions of dollars museum. It's not like a small museum. So please be imagine to get up Gandhi Museum. Thank you.
We are always supporting the museum, and I'm supporting the Gandhi and everybody else, from all the freedom movement leaders from I was 8 years old, from 1937. Then I have encountered everybody from there, and I got a blessing from them, and I see them, and I saw them, everybody, and also I talked to them because my father, my whole family, my grandfather, everybody took the movement, take a part in the freedom movement. And we, thank you.
And for your great generous donation to the Jan Vikas, right? Yeah, Jan Vikas. And also Magan Bhai, Varsaben. Yeah. So thank you and congratulations for that. And really we appreciate that. So Bihari Bhai, keep doing good work, and always we are with you. Okay? Thank you.
Well, it's now time for another short break on Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community. Again, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And welcome back. I'm Aditi Lama, and this is Vision of Asia, South Asian News segment. On coronavirus updates and more. Today in New York City, about 9,000 employees of the city were placed on unpaid leave for failing to meet today's mandatory vaccination deadline. This comes as mask and vaccine mandates continue to be political issues in several states, where some governors have banned schools and other businesses from enforcing these mandates. Meanwhile, nearly 58% of US population is now fully vaccinated, with more than 192 million Americans inoculated. 80% of US adults have had at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Also on vaccine, today the White House said that the United States is rolling out Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines for children ages 5 to 11 this week, and millions of doses will start arriving at distribution centers over the next few days. The US CDC still needs to advise on how the shot should be administered, which will be decided tomorrow after a group of outside advisors discuss this plan. On this and much more, let's now take a look at our conversation with Dr. Rachna Kulkarni. Here is Dr. Kulkarni. So just following up to that, doctor, I'd just like to know quickly, why recommend 1/3 of the dose of the COVID vaccine? Is that the normal recommendation for children that age group, usually with vaccines?
Yes, a lot of times it's adjusted by body weight.
Okay, cool. So let's now go into more about COVID-19 vaccines and what's happening with the booster dose, doctor. Obviously, the third dose has been given out across the country to people that are eligible for it right now. My first question to you on that, how are you looking at this booster dose? And should everyone in this country by the end of this year have received this booster dose? How important is that?
A booster dose is extremely important. And this is not a novel concept for just this vaccine or this infection. A lot of vaccinations need 2 to 3 doses. Hepatitis and many other vaccines, which we have accepted. And that has become the norm, that has become the regimen. This vaccine should be no different. I expect 2 to 3 doses, and sometimes it's very likely that this could be a yearly vaccine for us. It's very likely that our immunity starts waning after 6 months, and hence getting a booster is very important. Everyone, FDA has just broadened their recommendations about vaccination, and anyone who has any underlying medical condition or they think they are in high risk anyone over age of 65, they all should be vaccinated. So in my opinion, if one wants to get vaccinated, one certainly will have opportunity to get vaccinated. And even there is now FDA has approved even a mix and match option, which is wonderful. If people are getting, if they have gotten a J&J vaccine or a Moderna vaccine, they now do have an option of getting either of that, because there is definitely a train of thought that that kind of mixing and matching can sometimes augment immune response.
Okay, so there is no danger right now, doctor, in mixing and matching these doses?
Absolutely not.
Oh, wow, that's very interesting. You know, and one more question I have to ask you on this. Have you been able to have access to getting this booster dose? And what about the other healthcare workers that you work with? Have they had that access?
Most healthcare workers by now have gotten or should have gotten a booster dose now. I certainly have gotten mine, tolerated it just fine. No side effects, no complications.
Wow. You know, just talking more about these booster doses, another news that came out this week was a recommendation that's kind of coming from the FDA, which says highly immunocompromised people may need 4th dose of the COVID-19 vaccine 6 months after their 3rd inoculation. Please give me your comments on this.
Yes, and I agree with that, because if a person is immunocompromised by either the medical conditions or by the medications that they are on, their immunity is reduced, and hence a 4th dose may offer a protection to them in 6 months. So I don't see any harm in it. And I think it's a very safe and very effective vaccine. And people need to weigh the risks and benefits. And I think here, especially in this case, the benefits far, far outweigh the risk.
Dr. Kulkarni, what are you hearing in the medical community about this? Is this a vaccine that we are going to be administering every 6 months? How is the medical community sort of evaluating this?
The medical community and the knowledge about this vaccine is still, we are learning about it as we go. The medical community at this time thinks that this is going to be a yearly vaccine for sure.
Okay.
And possibly in the medical community, maybe a bi-yearly.
With this, we wrap up our show for the night. Please send us your suggestions and get your voices and organizations on our show. You can email us on events@itvgold.com, or you can follow us on our Facebook handle @itvgold. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for free access to many of our popular shows. Thank you for joining us tonight from Edison, New Jersey. This is Vision of Asia, and I am Aditi Lamba. Take care and be well.